and welcome to Cutting the Ball and the Post-Truth Apocalypse presents Weekly Weird News. I'm Ben, and I'm hanging out with Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
This is our sister show to Cutting the Ball and the Post-Truth Apocalypse, where we bring you the weekly word of the weird as we found on the World Wide Web this week. And there's nothing weirder this week than an attempted assassination
Of a presidential candidate.
You may have heard about it.
You may have heard about it. We can't exactly not talk about it.
No.
Because let's face it, there's a bit of conspiracy in this.
This has taken over my life for a week, honestly. I've not really listened to anything else, to be honest.
I stumbled in last Saturday at around midnight after attending the Labour Party general election win piss-up. And my housemate came down to let the dog out and said, "Have you heard someone's trying to assassinate Trump?" And I went, "You what? What? Seriously?"
Well, you sound shocked. It's not the first time, is it?
Oh, because I knew what a powder keg that would ignite.
Oh, if he'd been successful, can you imagine?
I remember...
Can you imagine now?
I woke up at 4 in the morning, which is too early on a Saturday.
Absolutely, totally.
But
I'm with you, because when you wake up early every day...
But what I always do, and on that occasion at the weekend, is then, fuck it, roll a bit of a spliff. I will admit there's half a beer left. Have that. Finish that, waste not, want not, and back to sleep. Scroll on your phone, but that was all massively interrupted. I didn't go back to sleep because I looked on my phone and it said Trump shot, and I went, what the fuck? And being the world that it is now, the video's there instantly.
Of course.
Watched it all, I was just like, holy shit. Because, fuck, it's like in our time...
We haven't had many... In our lifetime, we've had... Reagan, and that's it, isn't it?
Weren't we like little? We
were young
toddlers,
then.
like
We were toddlers.
Yeah, we don't remember it.
I was going to say, I've got no memory. I've watched the videos of it, but I've got no memory of it. And he didn't know he was shot till he got in the limo down the road, apparently. He just, and like you were saying earlier, innit, it just feels like a punch or something, and all the adrenaline and everything. And as they're driving down, they're like, oh fuck, you've been hit.
But even though we weren't alive, JFK is ingrained in
our psyche.
Yeah.
But that seems like a world away. That it's something that used to happen back then,
You see what you're
like
saying.
modern times. You know, like,
and
I hate to admit, I often had the thought, it's a miracle no one shot this fucker. Donald Trump, I mean, like for years, like because he was only in power like 3 and a bit years, wasn't he?
4 years.
And a lot of that was COVID.
That's true enough.
Which isn't normal.
No.
Is it normal presidential times and that? But I do remember just how controversial he was and the things he said, although I found it funny. I do remember thinking world leaders don't say these types of things, and the hatred for him. Do remember thinking, it's mad nobody's had a go. But then...
You could flip that and say Obama, because the hatred and the right on him.
Do you think the right hated Obama as much as the left hate Trump? Cause I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I don't think anyone's ever been as... They think he's the literal embodiment of evil. They genuinely believe he wants to end democracy. It's mad.
He's been compared to Hitler. Project 2025 is what the likes
want
of
to end democracy. He wants to do 4 years and retire to his fucking golf course.
Well, let's hope, eh?
And I heard a good point. Alex Jones made an amazing point about Trump that is so simple. I can't believe I never fucking really thought it. But he said, you know that interview with the comedian we watched, Mike, where he ends up very upset by the end, Alex?
Yeah.
At some point in that video...
Tim Dillon, isn't it?
Yeah, with Tim Dillon. It's well worth a watch, listeners. He says, like, look, how does Trump make money? How does he make money? The hospitality business, golf courses, hotels, hospitals. You know what I mean?
Well, it's his name, really, isn't it? He sells his name. But
it's like that industry is like, how does that industry thrive? The country needs to thrive. People need disposable income. The taxes need to be lower. Like he comes at it from that sort of populist sort of angle. Really, it's weird, but they're just the hatred for him though is, and I get it because the way he talks, he did incite. He does do it on purpose to wind. In
your opinion, obviously.
Well, the thing, you know what I mean, when he says, he does say inflammatory things.
Of course he does, yeah.
I do not believe I genuinely don't believe he incited an insurrection on January 6th. There's even been...
that's where we may have to disagree.
No, if you watch the full thing, he does talk about going up there peacefully and blah, blah, blah. But also, Mike, do you know about the FBI agents all the FBI agents dressed as MAGA.
Yeah, it happens with everybody.
Yeah, but they were the ones doing.
They always infiltrate a cult, guys.
Yeah, but they were the ones, the worst. Like, they were on the front lines, like geeing it all up on purpose. The guy, when he was in Congress, and the guy was interviewing the FBI, and he says, "Did you have agents disguised as MAGA?" And he goes, "I can't answer that." And the congressman goes, "Surely the answer should be fucking no."
No, of course it is.
Yeah. Like, it's not like I can't answer that. It should be fucking no.
You asked him several questions like that. Were there FBI agents in the crowd?
They infiltrate all organisations.
Of course they do.
And you're right, and they do incite violence to try and discredit them.
This is what I believe. January 6th, I genuinely believe he put the average left person is like, no, he's evil, he did an insurrection. He's fucking unconstitutional, but I think it's more complicated. I think things got out of hand. And I think also it's very strange when you watch the footage of the people once they're in there, they're just like, like just wandering about, like.
Well, some were chanting "Hang Mike Pence."
And then there was that dude with all them cable ties hanging out of his clothing.
Yeah, probably an FBI agent.
Possibly, I mean.
Maybe. They do infiltrate. I'm with you on that.
I just think
but to blame it solely on the FBI, that's a bit...
No, but you can't also, though, flip side to that, you can't solely blame it on Donald. The way they talk about it, the way he's been built up, because this is one of the arguments that come into why was he...
Okay.
This is the rhetoric is what has come up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The rhetoric.
Yeah. The rhetoric.
The rhetoric, sorry, thank you. So if you continuously call somebody Hitler in mainstream media, you continuously say he did an insurrection, you continuously say he's an enemy of democracy, he wants to end democracy, he's a fascist, he's a dictator, he's worse than Hitler. If you continue, that's hyperbolic bullshit, and you know it.
Let's face it.
Hitler built factories to kill people, like he motorised, he mechanicalised murder.
He wanted to start wars,
he industrialised murder. Yeah. He turned murder into a factory, right?
But to say he's blameless on the other side...
No. But nobody's blameless. But my long-winded point I'm trying to make...
more nuanced than that. Yeah, I know what
he's
you're saying.
nowhere near this evil thing that they're...
No, he isn't. You are right. You are right.
And...
well, we hope.
It's just mad that... Like... No, it's not mad. It's obvious. So if you keep saying that...
Of course, they want to discredit him.
If it's the non-conspiracy route, so let's say that this young gunman, who was 20-year-old when he burned...
20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania.
That was a strange one, wasn't it, him?
So this is the two scenarios, isn't it then, Mike? This young man is just, on his own accord, been so radicalised by what he's read and seen and heard, and he's mentally unwell. He's got access, it was his father's AR-15. Right? The perfect storm, he decides, he's coming to my town, fuck it, I'm gonna end this cunt. That's the one side, isn't it?
Yep.
And then we've got the next side that we have to discuss what we think is that he is a plant. Alex Jones believes you have these people ready to go. You wind them up, you control them, you
MK Ultra.
You MK Ultra them and you activate them when you need them.
Yeah, Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Was he activated? Is he a plant? Was he operating on behalf? Was he allowed? What the fuck happened here, boys? What do you think?
Or was it a blood pack and it was all fake?
Oh, it wasn't WWE. Didn't Blade. He didn't do a blade job like Hulk Hogan.
Alright, so let's start.
Hulk Hogan might have taught him though how to do it. Now that we know they're best buds.
Well, we'll see what the damage is to his ear
when they take it off. Man, you know it wasn't. I've seen it from the one angle where it's slowed right down and you literally see it.
It's a graze. It's a graze.
It because some people reckon it went through his. I don't think it went through his ear. Well, you know more about bullets than me. Like, is that trajectory enough to knock it off, or would it have gone straight?
Whatever that bullet hits is going with the bullet, right? If he's missing a then again, will we?
Because he was.
You could argue that Trump, being Trump, would go to a plastic surgeon and have them replace his ear with a part of synthetic or plastic flesh. But
people of that level of wealth, could 100%.
If he's, but being Trump, I would argue that he would be eager for some kind of war wound.
Oh yeah, actually, now you say that, he would actually, thinking about it, he'd love the scar.
Of course he would.
Yeah, he's going to mention it in every speech he does for the next 4 years.
Missing part of his ear, the unkillable president.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. When I watched that video, it was early in the morning. I was slightly, out of spliff and that, and when I saw him get up and do the fight,
Yeah.
I was fucking teary-eyed.
It even stirred something in me, mate,
Emotional.
to be honest.
I found it to be one of the most incredible things I'd ever seen in my life.
There's something about punching your fist in the end of fights.
Isn't it? Just no matter what you think of a man who's just that close to death.
I was a man, I despise the guy.
Mike is a man more liberal than Gandhi, and he's getting Mike's feeling the hairs on the back of his neck, so his balls are tingling, and he's like, oh!
You know, as soon as I saw it, my first thought was, he's won.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Instantly.
And this is before I saw the photo. Then when I saw the photo, I went, "Oh shit, they're done."
There's no way he's not winning now.
No, sympathy vote for a start, and all them voters who are floating voters in the US, all those floating voters.
Well, the majority of
Americans.
It's magnificent.
America's gone Trump.
Yeah.
There was one feed that I found because there's different camera feeds or whatever of the incident. I found one. There's one that goes around where it's because the live mics from his podium are still switched on, and you can hear everything. Have you heard that one? They're trying to move him off, but his shoes have come off.
He hit him that hard to take him down. His shoes
have come off, but he doesn't want to move. He's like, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes," because he doesn't want to be seen to be. What he said in the interview after I've seen videos of people being carried and carted, I never want that image. I don't want to be seen in that way.
Yeah.
He even wanted to put his fucking shoes on.
Or is that because they've got like a 3-inch lift?
It could be that as well.
And he'd be like 5'9" without them.
It could be that as well. But then as well to go like, wait.
But I admire that. You don't want to be seen shuffling off the stage shoeless. You want to walk out. You want to be walked out.
Yeah.
Like if you're a professional footballer. Yeah. You get a nasty hit and you know your game's done.
No,
you don't be carried off. If you can walk, you're walking off.
Yeah.
And he could walk and he walked off. And the fist pump, I was like...
Well, he was escorted off, wasn't he?
Well...
It hit me emotionally on lots of levels because I was just like, A, it's awesome, it was powerful, it was doing, but I also felt like I'm literally witnessing history. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm witnessing something that in 40 years will still be
talked about.
Thing, that like.
Well, more so if they've been successful, but yeah.
Well, and also the emotion of how what we could have been looking at. Like, imagine if that went through his brain, and like,
holy shit.
Then what does that video look like?
Oof.
And what does America look like?
What's America look like a week later?
Like a tinderbox.
They'd have the funeral, wouldn't they?
There'd be a state funeral. It's got to be a state funeral. He's a former president.
Yeah. You know the controversial white rapper Tom McDonald?
Never
aware of him?
No, mate, sorry.
Does a lot of political stuff. Anyway, he released a song within a couple of days about this. Is
he that dude that can just make up raps about anything on the spot?
Really fat, yeah. He's like a white guy covered in tattoos with long hair.
Not the same drum.
Anyway, he did this, and there's a line in it that I agree with. He's like, "Thank God the right don't riot." Which I agree with because I know they have, in the past, but
they just do rallies in Charlottesville.
What he's referring to is like the sort of BLM riots and all that type of,
Yeah.
If that was the right, it looks a lot different, doesn't it? Because everyone's got a machine gun and a tank and a rocket launcher.
Looks like Waco, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So much so if that bullet does go through his brain.
That's what your riot. Oh God, that's difficult to say. Right-wing riot looks like Waco.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'd have this en masse if that went through his brain.
Oh fuck. Possibly.
It would just.
It would have been. Yeah.
It doesn't bear thinking.
Especially if it was a Democrat. Because this guy, he's a bit weird, isn't he?
He's a Republican.
I tried getting to the bottom of this, because this has really pissed me off because everyone keeps bringing it up. He was a registered... Apparently there was a movement because he donated some money to the Democrats.
Yeah,
even though
there was a movement locally that you had to register as a Republican so you could vote for Trump's opponent in his own party, as the representative.
Ah, right.
Do you see what I mean?
So he did that to vote against Trump.
Tactically voting.
I never heard that.
Yeah, tactically voting.
There was a big push for young Democrats in these areas. Yeah. If you're a young Democrat in an area, register and vote for that guy.
I never heard that.
And it'll at least keep Trump off because they're admitting no one's going to beat Trump, so they're trying to go about it in the back door way, I suppose. That's one explanation that I've heard because otherwise it's confusing as fuck, innit? Or he changed his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
He might, and he didn't donate much. It was $15 or something.
$15, yeah.
I suppose when you're 20, you know,
hey, $15.
Yeah.
So it's fucking.
Now let's just go through the events, right? Of what actually happened. So Thomas Matthew Crooks apparently fired 8 rounds. I watched that video a lot, and I'm not saying I'm a fucking expert.
How fast?
But I have been trained to count rounds.
Does this gun? Because I don't know anything about it. Is it like hold the trigger on and it'll do 8 in a row?
No, it's single shot. Every time you pull the
1, 2,
trigger
3,
around
4,
fires.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
How quick can it do that though?
As soon as you pull the trigger. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
If you've got a very fast finger.
Yeah. Now 8 rounds and a partial hit on Trump, and 2 people behind him, isn't it?
Yeah.
One died. Didn't they?
One died.
God bless.
I think there was some people wounded too.
Yeah, critically wounded and a couple.
He's got an AR-15 style rifle. He's 120 metres away. Give me 3 hours at the range, lads, and I will train both of you to hit the centre mass of a target.
I've heard more than one military person say exactly the same thing this week. Of like, that's a easy shot. That's like.
Yeah.
Then again,
but
did he have drugs in his body? Was he nervous as fuck?
We'll never know any of that.
No, you
that's
never know that.
That's a ban. It always happens that these fucking people die.
There's also
we never get to question them.
Yeah.
But there's also shooter's luck, and you can never take luck out of a shot. Kennedy assassination.
Fucking lucky.
Trump
He
was
moved
incredibly
his
lucky.
head at the last minute, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen
In
that.
that diagram.
Yeah. Hang on. Oswald, when he shot Kennedy, he had no right to make that maybe second shot, right? Because the first shot hit the curb. The second shot takes Kennedy in the base of the fucking neck and comes out at the bottom of his throat. That should not have hit. And Carlos Hancock, the best sniper in the world in the US at that time, couldn't make that shot.
No.
Luck plays a massive factor with it, and the skill. You've got to have skill. You've got to know where. There was no wind at that rally because all the flags behind Trump were limp.
Perfect condition.
150 metres away. I'd have you.
120.
120.
That's the
120
context
metres.
that I heard these
400
military
feet.
guys
Yeah.
explaining to him was like they were saying, look, this is why it should have been covered because the guy was saying like,
Just put a dude on the
he
roof.
said, I could teach you to make that shot. Anybody with any kind of experience, it's a.
Yeah. Well, that raises another question. He was spotted before he took the
Well,
shot.
I've seen the videos literally of the guys saying, you can see video
Yeah.
footage. They're literally pointing at him, going, look, you can see him crawling up the.
You can.
Yeah.
It's mental.
And he
You
wasn't
can hear
shot.
Trump's voice in the background over the speakers.
The guy
One
the BBC
guy-
interviewed, the ginger guy, was like, I told the police, I told the Secret Service, there's a dude with a rifle on the roof, is he one of yours?
I mean,
They did nothing.
And they did nothing.
couldn't a normal local police officer from down there have just with his handgun like got him?
Could have done.
Well, it certainly challenged him.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
What you did up there with a gun.
Yeah. And it's a sloped roof, which is really nice because you can rest the rifle on the point of that roof, and you've now got a shooting
And
position.
shouldn't have all these positions been checked beforehand?
Well, he's at an angle.
You're a Secret Service guy.
Yeah, how could you got someone on that roof? Every day of the week you've got just a dude sat up there. He doesn't have to have a rifle.
No.
He could just be sat there with a pistol, making sure no one gets up there.
I heard a good point. Why wasn't there just a basic local officer up there, just crowd control, like because it was a vantage, because it was a vantage point. The crowd was right there. It was a huge crowd. That doesn't come across really because all the videos we're watching are pointed at Trump, aren't they? At the podium.
He's slightly off to the side.
It was a huge crowd, and like they're right up to that building. There's lots of people down there, so why not? The local law enforcement were on the floor. It would have been a nice idea to be up there.
Just put a dude up there. You just sit on that roof and just watch the fucking thing.
It's complicated. 'Cause apparently, I was reading as well though that like the guys that are assigned to Trump daily, like you get to know them people, don't you? And you have a relationship with them, and apparently he gets on really. He trusts them like implicitly. The guys that are with him every day. So there's this question of, and I was also reading that like. So they had him in their sights, obviously, because he's right fucking there. There's 2 snipers, Secret Service snipers, isn't there, pointed right at him, but they don't take the shot. He gets 8 rounds off. Why didn't they fire after the first shot? Why didn't they fire as soon as they said a bloke holding a gun? I've been told that they're waiting. They have to have
Probably have to have an order.
okay.
Okay, yeah. Probably have to have an okay.
I don't know who that comes from.
It would come from the head of the team. It would be like, does anyone have a visual on the shooter? Yes, I have a visual on the shooter, take the shot.
Because I also
that could be 8 seconds, which could be 8 shots.
That's true. And the footage I was telling you about where it's all mic'd up and you can hear everything. Let me put my shoes on. You can also hear him say like, shoot us down, shoot, like, because there's confusion. Then it's like, shoot us down with Clair, shoot us down with Clair. So the message is obviously coming through that they've shot him, but this has all got to happen in real time, hasn't it? This communication.
Yeah. But also, I want to point out, shoot us down. You don't know there's not a second.
That's very true. Which
so
is why they should have been covering his head.
Trump stand up and do the fist pump is so bad, because you don't know if there's a guy in that crowd who's got a pistol. You don't know if there's another shooter next to him.
Could have been two of them, couldn't there?
Could have been two. Would have increased your chances. Any competent hit, the JFK assassination, would have had 2.
They need someone on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, there was no grassy knoll equivalent because it was such an easy shot. It was like a pure miracle.
He's just. You're right, Gaz. It's a non-spiritual miracle. But Trump turns his head a lot when he speaks.
No, apparently though, it was all down to because he brought up. He made a joke of it in his RNC speech. He was like, "Here's the chart that saved my life," because he turned his head. You could see he was discussing the border and where immigration was when he was in charge and where it is now, and they brought the graph up on the screen and he turned to look at it to read the figures. And he brings it up in his RNC speech and he's like, it's such a beautiful graph. No, chart, he calls it a chart. It's a beautiful chart, one of the best I've ever seen. Beautiful.
Is it better than his hurricane chart?
It's best chart in the world.
He didn't draw wrong with Sharpie.
He's such a legend. I love him so much.
Oh my god, we've got another 4 years of it.
He's going to be amazing.
It is.
He's amazing.
The counter-sniper team took him out, obviously, as we've said, late, and surely if they're looking straight at that fucking route, which is what I would be looking if I was a sniper, and there's a team of 4 of you, so...
Well, according to the photographs, it looks like they are literally looking right at him, but one flinches. People, it's so mad what people try and turn into conspiracies. When the shots start going, you can see one of them, like, shits himself a bit, but, like, you probably would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you've been looking at that barrel, then would it have a flash? A muzzle flash?
Yeah, it's a muzzle flash, yeah.
Suppose if you're looking through your scope and you see it, you might, it's a natural... Fucking hell.
Of course it is. I would argue that man's not a sniper who's seen action if he's doing that, because a sniper who's seen a bit of war on terror is not going to be flinching at muzzle flashes.
Thing, no, it was the fucking C team. Did you see him? I know we're getting into sexist territory now. No,
like Kennedy's were.
Oh, that was Kennedy's.
Some of them were like, a lot of them were women. I know that.
Well, that doesn't make a difference, to be fair. As long as there's enough men to be rugby tackling him to the floor.
But Ben, I saw one of them. She was
one of them didn't do a lot.
It was like the Keystone Cop. She couldn't get a fucking gun out, then she couldn't put it back in, and that's the fucking press. Oh fuck me!
But remember affirmative action.
Well, you just said he shouldn't be flapping.
No, oh God, there's no room for flapping in this scenario.
Absolutely,
there's
flapping.
No room for flapping.
There's a very, very clear photograph of one of them shielding herself behind Donald Trump.
There is, I've seen that photo. Yeah.
Just saying.
What can you say?
I'm not saying they're shit because they're females. I'm just saying they're shit because the head of the Secret Service has set herself a 30% target of female agents, right? So they're not. I'm just saying there's probably way better women. Like, Gina Carano would have been a lot better at that.
She'd have been fantastic.
Do you know what I mean? She wouldn't have fumbled
Why isn't she in the Secret?
That's what I'm saying. There's women out there who would have smashed it.
The Mandalorian is not going to save us.
Oh, fucking hell, what's this thing? Where do I put this? Surprised she didn't shoot herself in the bollocks.
But imagine that. Just imagine where she is mentally. It's like it's her first.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't do it.
Like
fucking
her first day on the
joke.
Her first, serious thing that's happened, and all of a sudden, it's like being a striker and fumbling that shot at football. The first chance you get on the pitch, it falls to you. It's a 3-yard tap in, but you're blown it iron wide.
Yeah,
That's what she did, and I understand it. But I will only say one thing.
Well, yeah, if your job isn't to protect the person, that's your whole job, though, isn't it?
It is, but you fumbled it.
They're meant to die.
He was complimentary of him, extremely complimentary.
They're to die, aren't they, really?
Yeah,
save the life of the man you're protecting.
Because I've heard quite a few people bring up the Reagan video that apparently they just swarm it, just on him in seconds. They just cover him and they just like, shoot me instead. Like, so you're literally a human shield, aren't you? That's your job.
Trump does not have the A team.
That's what I'm saying. He was given the fucking C team, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, he had asked. It's evident. Look what happened.
He'd asked for more bodyguards because he didn't. The head of his security team said we don't have enough bodies to stop like a head-on assault or. But he didn't say sniper. But there was two, and one was a head-on attack. He says we don't have enough bodies to provide adequate protection in these two scenarios.
Right.
But he did have adequate protection for this scenario, and there should have been someone there. It's bad work.
Yeah.
It's someone not paying attention. It's someone not doing a recce. It's the whole chain of command of this team has failed.
Is it negligence on purpose? Is the question, isn't it?
Well, that only they will ever know that. So to summarise this first part, like the events of what's happened, and we've got to say that this bloke missed. I generally put it down to bad bodyguarding and the dude just getting really lucky with Trump moving his head.
I was going to say, didn't miss, did he? Trump moved.
Yeah.
That's what's...
My one criticism of his shooting is that he should have aimed for the chest.
Front of his head. Oh, the chest.
His biggest shot, centre mass.
Yeah,
centre mass is chest and head.
Is he more likely to survive, though?
It's Trump, a late 70s man who eats McDonald's every day, getting a chest wound, is probably going to kill him.
Knowing him, though. He's a badass.
He might be, but that doesn't stop kinetics and bullets.
Strength of a
and shrapnel.
You saw him get up with that blood on his face.
The fist
and
pump.
his fist in the air, and what word came to his head? Fight. What the fuck?
You gotta love that.
You have?
That is master.
That's what you want
God level politician.
That's what you want to see from a fucking politician. You want to see that passion.
It's
that
masterful.
Never say die attitude. You want to see that?
It's masterful. Yep. It's going to win him the election.
And think of the money he's going to make on t-shirts, because I guarantee you he fucking owns that image.
They're already out there, fight.
I bet he owns that image.
Yeah, he's got it on sneakers now, $300.
Wow. And people will be paying it. So we're funding his campaign.
Well, some of it's going to his campaign.
Some of it's paying for golf.
And prostitutes, but yeah.
Hey, allegedly.
No, not allegedly. He knows prostitutes. It's American, it's commerce.
Now, obviously the bullet hit his ear instead of his head, and it literally was down to Trump moving his head at the right time, wasn't it? Literally turning to look at a graph. A chart. A beautiful chart.
It's the greatest chart I've ever seen.
I mean, it's luck. It's complete luck. You could. I mean, that video, if his brains had been splattered out across the American flags, my God, that would have been a viral video of the decade. Of the century.
I know we don't get religious, but look doesn't seem like a big enough word to cover it, does it? It's like, it's mad.
It doesn't, but it is.
It is. Oh yeah, it is. I know, but but to half of America now, though, they literally witnessed. They believe they witnessed a man be touched with the hand of God in front of them, emboldened by that.
That Marjorie Taylor Greene said she saw an angel above him, but she needs to take her meds more often. There's that flag thing you sent us, guys, where they entwined together like an angel's wings.
Well, some people think it looks like an eagle.
Either way,
but it was still a symbol of America.
There might have been a bit of wind on that day, who knows? Might have thrown the shot up. No, don't sing anymore, we'll have to pay. We'll have to pay, damn it.
I don't think they'll confuse my voice with anything recognisable.
So where are we at?
Well,
the guy's been identified, he's been shot. Trump's going to ride a wave of popularity and sympathy. He's just going to swing all those undecided voters over to his side because she's screaming fight, 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 while Biden can't put two sentences together.
He's shitting himself.
The words from the Democratic Party, rumours on X, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, say that Democrats are now touting the phrase landslide victory for Trump.
Probably.
Because they do not think Biden can win this election, and because of his mental state. Now, Biden refuses to stand down.
I think any Democrat now...
And he will not endorse Kamala Harris to run.
She'd get smashed. And
but so will he.
They haven't got... That's something. They haven't got... They must know. And after this, since this has happened, and it's not just it, momentum was building. I think there's a lot of quiet Americans who don't realise are fucking sick of what's going on, basically. And I think they were going to vote with their feet. But then this has happened, and it's just fucking lit a torch under that entire side, hasn't it?
Of course.
And all these people that were, like you say, well, we don't know. I'm obviously just guessing, but just from what I'm reading on Twitter and things, there are loads of people who are just like, oh, I love him now. I can't, like, he's just won me.
Because Americans do have that national pride thing, the majority of them, a good chunk of them, I'd go as far as to say like 80% of Americans are like proud to be an American. It's the land of the free, the home of the brave.
All three of us. It was just, we understand the iconography of it, of what it meant, and just...
And they're traitorous colonialist guys.
They're
colonists.
Genocidal cunts.
They're the world police. But he was the
built
least...
on genocide.
He's less...
Who isn't?
I do believe he's less of a warmonger, though. I honestly don't think he's that keen on war unless he has to. I think he's very keen on...
I'm with you, yeah.
He's 100% keen on threatening it, though. He definitely loves... Yeah. He loves just being a Billy...
And when he said he'll bring down hellfire...
Yeah, he just literally goes and meets these people.
The world has never known before.
He goes right to their properties, sits with them, and he's like, yeah, great, sign the deal or I will literally burn it to the fucking ground. Great to meet you. You're a great guy. Let's play some golf. Like, I like it.
The Kim Jong-un thing, he slapped him down. I've got a bigger button than you.
Well, at one point it looked like they were actually going to make a breakthrough, and I thought, this is fantastic, you know. No one's been able to get any kind of dialogue with this guy, and he's managed to get a breakthrough almost. Then it all just seemed to fall apart in the end, didn't it? And they went back to
COVID and stuff, didn't you?
I don't know what happened.
I think if he could just say less silly things... Do you know what I mean? And get taken a bit more... Because apparently behind the scenes, what we don't realise, because the media tells us one thing, is that he was quite apparently respected by these leaders behind the scenes because of the way he...
They didn't seem to show it, did they, when they met him in public?
Well, because everyone was embarrassed when they didn't want to take him... But apparently behind the scenes, the way he spoke, he straight talked, and like they definitely embarrassed him when he come and met the royal family and things.
Oh, God, Jerry fucked that up.
But... Apparently he was very like business deal type because he just treats it all the same. Just got shit done. I know I'm a massive fanboy now. I know he's a twat. I do know he's a twat, don't get me wrong, but I love him.
I will give him his due.
I love him.
He's a straight talker and he knows exactly what to say to win the vote. He is a master of it.
Master manipulator.
You know, he said like, "Oh, I'm a fan of the poorly educated. They're my number one voter base." He said that, but it's fucking true, and he knows exactly how to get him on
side. He said he could shoot someone down Fifth Avenue, and he wouldn't lose any support.
It wouldn't do anything to me. Well, do you know how populist he's gone now, though? This is what he said during the speech, which was 90-odd minutes long. I was like, oh, God, this is such classic, like, populism, but it's working, it's what people want to hear. He basically said, like, working people, like, under the Democrats, so tips, now they've had to start paying 20% of their tips in tax. Because tipping's a big thing in America, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know, I haven't heard that.
But that's
it's a massive thing.
So,
you know.
It's like crushing people because also the cash, it's all done through, it's put on the bill now, you don't get a separate cash tip. Some people still try and give cash. And Trump said, I was at this place having a nice meal, I spoke to the waitress, I asked her what's going on, talking about the tips, and he was like, oh, why can't you just do cash? Like, don't fucking, you know, which I love. Former president telling it and admitting to the why don't you just do it cash and don't fucking tell no one, fuck it, like. And she's like, oh, and it all goes on to and it's done through and it's all, and he's like, and they take 20% of your tips. And then he said people pay millions of pounds, waste millions of pounds of government money on research and these sort of things. I just go and ask a fucking smart waitress. And everyone went mental, clapping like, and I'm like, oh, it's so it's like,
I know, but it's not rocket science. Ask the people what they
But he's got to ask for people, hasn't he?
I know, because both parties are so corrupt, they don't give people what they want. When somebody finally comes out and says, "I'll give you these things,"
so easy now, though.
I know, but he never did it. He never did it in his 4 years.
You've got to give him a chance now.
Oh, we got no choice. But if he'd done something, if he'd done what he promised, he said he wanted universal healthcare for everybody. That would have been fantastic.
Well, if he'd have had 4 years and you fucking evil left fascist hadn't have cheated him out of the election.
He's a president, he can do orders, mate. He can do presidential
I'm just telling you
orders.
what he said. My point was how populist it is, of just like how easy it is to just get everyone to go mental, to say things like, "Oh, I spoke to a waitress," and
that's how shit the state of politics is.
Yeah, but Biden isn't asking a waitress, is he? Can't talk.
No, I know he isn't.
Yeah.
Or going to restaurants.
Although Biden, ironically, he's probably their best president since FDR. Stuff he's done. Yeah, look it up, mate. He's done some really good stuff. He's got a lot of students out of debt. He's brought back a lot of manufacturing jobs.
Have you seen what the students are doing, Mike? They're all dressed up like fucking Afghans and burning them to the ground.
They hate him because of his policy in Israel.
Well, I want to see them shot with rubber bullets and sat at their fucking desks. Little fucking cunts. You don't get a fucking government loan to go and dress up like a fucking Arab and burn the fucking place down, you ungrateful little fucking shithole. Fucking shoot the cunts back to their classrooms. I want to see hardcore. I want to see an absolute fucking crackdown on this bullshit.
No, but if you look at his policies, he's done some good stuff. He's done some very good stuff.
I don't know. All I see.
Not enough.
He fucked up Afghanistan.
Yeah, he fucked that up.
All I see is fucking like 6-year-olds being taught about anal sex.
Yeah, because you're taking it. You're taking the
6'5" drag queen.
You're in the right wing sort of bubble, aren't you?
The best only fucking bubble to be in, brother. You should try us in this bubble, mate. It's all lagers and taking the piss out of people.
The best of it is, guys, you're not even right wing, you're a normal guy from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you're right, though.
I'm
not some mad fascist. I'm
not saying you are, but I'm saying that you've been drawn to that.
I was thinking
the social media and everything, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I despise the extreme left, which I know is only a small. You know, like the ones that are literally. Have you seen the videos of the girls going, "I can't believe they missed"? Like people literally crying and screaming about him not getting shot in the head. And I'm like,
but then I can show you some insane people on the right, some Trump fans, and you'll
definitely.
be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
extremism on both sides is terrible.
I don't know.
You don't want extremism.
But
you
Billy
don't.
Bob and his banjo and his pickup truck and his flag and his shotgun and his barbecue and his beers and his family.
I'm with the majority of
and his
people
dog.
down the centre, independent.
He's my boy.
Not affiliated to any of these two lunatic parties, to be fair.
But no Trump's one of them always. Wasn't that floating vote?
Well, they've got no one else to vote for because they got it locked down. It's so corrupt and they're fucked.
I can't wait. I want to see what he does.
Because he survived.
Don't you think that the fairy tale ending to this story though is because I don't think he'll do 8 years. He's old man. I think he'll do 4.
Can you do another 8?
But
no, he can't do another 4.
Aren't you allowed 2 terms in a row?
I don't think you can
2 terms.
Oh, ever? Like even if they're split up. Oh, okay, so he can only do 1. But isn't this the nice fairy tale ending? What if he actually does the things? What if he turns out to be really fucking good?
Brilliant, and I'll be
he
the
has
first
a chance
to
this
applaud
time.
him. But his
and people
Republican
respect
masters, the donors, they won't allow him.
The military-industrial complex, the deep state.
Yeah.
Politics is the entertainment wing of the military-industrial complex.
There is all that, isn't there?
I mean, I don't think.
But he managed to go 4 years without starting any new ones. Why couldn't he do another
he did some
4?
stuff that I would.
I think that Trump is less susceptible to the military-industrial complex because he's wealthy enough. He sees that as like, well.
He did reckon he'd put an end to.
Yeah, I know, but then again, we got the whole JFK thing. You know, they showed the film and said this will happen to you.
Mike, they've had their chance now.
I know. I only ever have surface understanding of all of this. I don't go too deep into like the global because he was saying basically, and I don't fact check what he's saying. He was doing a speech, but he's going, when I was in power, Iran were fucking broke. I made sure they were broke.
Yeah, unfortunately, he took the Iran deal, and now they've got.
And now he's saying they're so close to having nuclear weapons.
It's all his fault.
But
because he stopped the deal, they had a deal where they didn't do it.
But was it his fault? Is he bringing it up if it was his fault?
Because
he was making out that it really wasn't his fault.
Because they're ignorant, aren't they, the voters, and they don't know. Honestly,
we might have fact checked that. I don't know.
I'm just saying he brought it up And he was quite funny the way he was doing it in his Trumpy style. And I like that as well, that he hasn't really changed. The speech started off sombre. He explained the whole thing that happened on Saturday and like from his point of view. And it was people crying in the audience.
Oh, of course there was. You know, of course there was.
It was quite sombre and he was quite... And then also it was quite touching. The guy who died, they had his fireman uniform on the stage. It was like kind of like a dummy, and he went up to it and like put his head on it like that, and like I was like, okay, that's started off quite, but it didn't take long. He got into his patter, his like, nothing was better than when I was in charge. When I was in charge, we never had it better. And he did spend 90 seconds bigging up Hulk Hogan's slamming abilities, which was surreal and wonderful.
Oh, come on, Gaz. We both love Hogan, but his repertoire was limited.
It didn't need a... Listen, the people who say that, Google on your phone now, Hogan in Japan.
Okay, alright.
Because, here's the thing, in Japan they will not accept the American, like, punch kick, not really doing anything style, they just won't. He's doing fucking... flipping his leg over arm bars, he's doing judo, like, he knew he could do things, he just didn't have to in America.
No, I guess you're right in a way,
if he didn't have to.
I guess you're right in that respect.
He definitely could.
All he had to do was shake his head and wag his finger and the crowd would be roaring.
Yeah, and it was like, he would look down at, people like Bret Hart who were doing loads of moves and working really hard and not earning as much as him. He'd be like, you're the fools. Because not everyone gets to be Hogan, because he was literally the icon of icons, wasn't he? Which brings us neatly to his appearance.
Yes.
So how did you feel when you saw it?
Oh, mate, it was magnificent. It was
just... Enjoy it, Mike?
I want to use the word... I'm going to use the word glorious.
Glorious? That's, yeah.
The fact that he came on, he had a 10-minute speech, roughly, wasn't it?
Yeah,
10
just
minutes.
under 10 minutes.
And 5 minutes of that, he was Hulk Hogan. The first 5 minutes, he was Hulk Hogan.
I loved it when he ripped his shirt.
Oh, we ripped the shirt.
Incredible. That was incredible.
Just like, he's ripping the shirt.
My life peaked.
And then, he came out, the last 5 minutes of speech, he was just speaking as Gaz, what's his proper name again?
Terry Bollea.
Terry Bollea. I can never remember the last name.
I
always called him Terry.
You know why it's hard to remember his second name? Is because it's an Italian sounding name and he's the most un-Italian looking.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
6'6" blonde.
Yeah. But, it's like, well, he came out and he did the speech as Terry Bollea and he was like, well, it's like, yeah, I can get behind that. And it's Hulk Hogan telling me, I wanted to say my prayers and eat my vitamins.
Well, that's...
The Trumpomaniacs running wild.
Trumpomaniacs.
I don't like the fact he called them Trumpites.
Trumpites, that one
was daft.
On as much, no.
That was daft. Trumpomania.
That's a good one. I can see that catching on.
Why he also didn't have a Trumpomania vest on underneath the ripped shirt?
He probably didn't have time to have it made.
Yeah, probably not.
I like the reveal. And he said it at the speech, did he? But he's also said in an interview since, in his normal voice, not in a... But it's just like, you have to be down the middle as an entertainer most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially in the live entertainment business, because you're trying to sell tickets to everyone, aren't you? But he's like, I just have to try to shoot him. Got to come out and give him
fair enough,
support. And it's like, yeah, go on in, mate. But what I hate is the state that politics has come to, not so much in Britain, but we're getting there, of how it's a big deal for someone, like he's this scary thing to reveal, I'm actually a Republican. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's got to this... Because apparently it's the death sentence in Hollywood.
Yeah, of course.
Gina was sacked by Disney, wasn't it?
Don't you think that's
Roseanne
fucked?
Barr.
Yeah, do you think
that's totally fucked
up? It's mad. I hope that changes. It should be normal. It should be. You're a Democrat or a Republican. Okay, we're still humans. We still probably get on loads more. It's just a bullshit label. You join that team, I'm on this team.
That's the whole point. They want us divided. They love it.
And I hate the mentality of this way. Really shameful, because I love Luke Skywalker, but Mark Hamill, he's so embarrassing. He's got this demented Trump disease and like this brain. I hate this. They're basically like, everything the blue team does is wonderful because it's the blue team.
Yeah.
But everything the red team does is evil and bad. And it's like, And you want me to
pathetic and
take you
childish.
seriously? I'm
So
like,
childish.
that's such a ridiculous way of looking at it.
Oh.
And they can't break out of it.
No.
It can only be seen to, because it's like I said, death in Hollywood, isn't it, to be Republican?
Yeah.
I hope that changes. That's weird.
Well, the only thing is that Mandalorian, obviously Gina was died in the red Republican. Pedro is a Democrat.
Yeah.
And they just sit there and chat about it. There was no raised voices. It was just having a chat about it.
That's how things used
And
to
he
be.
shared the meme she got sacked for. He shared first, but with a different caption.
I think there's sexism at play as well.
But she got sacked for sharing the same meme. It was a concentration camp meme. Kids, people at a concentration. This is what it feels like to be a Republican. She got sacked for. He shared the same thing with a slightly different caption. This is what it feels like to be a Democrat in such a state. But she got sacked and he didn't.
Yeah. It's unfair, isn't it?
It's fucked. Well, I hope that sort of changes.
It's got to. You can't bring. It doesn't matter what colour team you are. In the UK, I'm on the red side. The Labour Party. The colours are reversed colours are reversed in the UK.
I don't know what the fuck I am. Honestly, I'm probably what you get when you mix purple.
Monster Raven Looney Party was purple.
Yeah, that's me.
I identify closest to the Greens in this election, but in the past has been Labour and others.
My point is, I suppose, I'm just a normal dude, and Trump pumping his fist in the air. I was like, fuck me, why haven't we got... He's got Hulk Hogan speaking for him.
Oh, it's amazing.
I drive a forklift in my day-to-day work. I'm a Labour Party, I'm for the working man. But if you put Hulk Hogan out there, he was a working man himself, was a working class lad himself, let's face it.
He grew up poor, 100%.
Grew up poor.
Yeah. Lived the American dream.
And someone saying, I'm going to drain the swamp. All these career politicians, I want them out.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp, absolutely, drain the fucking swamp.
But he never did, that's the problem.
No, that's
tried. I reckon he probably tried.
Maybe he did, but...
I don't think it's as easy as it, because then you realise... Because he mentioned deep state in his speech. It's like a common thing now that you can openly say deep... Which I thought, that was what my ears picked up. I went, huh?
America is the poster child of the military-industrial complex, let's face it.
He hates
it's
the
the
FBI.
poster child for it, man. It's unreal.
He slagged the FBI off, or it might have been his son.
Doesn't he want to do something with the FBI? Like, get rid of... that's Project 2025. He wants... According to that, they want rid of the FBI.
Is that one of his... I think he...
It's not one of his, it's one of this Project 2025 thing. I looked it up the other night.
They've probably got way too much power. They don't give a fuck what their own leader tells them to go behind his back. Well, that's mad, isn't it?
Well, look, when Kennedy wanted to smash the military-industrial complex and the FBI, the CIA, look what happened to him.
And the CIA is the problem, isn't it?
CIA.
They're the ones that are going into other countries
real bad,
starting wars and fucking
assassinate.
We talk about there's not been assassinations in our lifetime. We mean Western leaders, don't we?
Yeah, totally.
Because there's been fucking dozens of around the world. Isn't Imran Khan in Pakistan been put in jail for not towing the... I'm sure Alex Jones said he didn't tow the company line or something.
He was voted president, and that's when they were most pally with America. And then he just seemed to get disgraced and immediately taken out.
Because he pulled out of something, apparently. I can't remember the day. I shouldn't bring up these half things. I can.
He was married to Liz Hurley for a bit,
Well, apparently he's in jail now.
I've been married to Liz Hurley. I've been married to Liz quite happily.
Well, yeah, me too. But
wouldn't want to go to a Pakistani jail though.
The CIA topple leaders and assassinate people all over the world.
And MI6 and Beijing and
Mossad.
Maybe not Mossad so much at the moment. They're a bit busy.
Oh yeah, but in the past.
In the past, they probably have done.
Anyway, back to the shooting. Should we get back to that?
So it's.
I think we're not too far off ending this really. Apparently he had a laser rangefinder. I don't see why he needs one of them at that range. Maybe he's just bought it and thinks I'm going to fucking use it.
It says here he was photographed twice by security officers prior to the shooting. A police officer saw Crooks on the ground and reported him with the photograph as a suspicious person.
Do you know why, Mike? Because he had a ladder.
Didn't find him.
He was carrying a ladder that he bought from Home Depot. He was carrying a ladder and a gun.
Not suspicious at all.
What the
No.
It says here, multiple local law enforcement officers identified Crooks and believed that he might have been acting suspiciously, and they expressed their suspicions over the radio, and the radio communications were available to the Secret Service. What the fuck's going on?
That is a failure of communication.
What?
That is not having you all on the same frequency.
Failure to communicate.
That's exactly what it is.
At 5:45 p.m, a member of the Beaver County
It's so fucking low down, isn't it?
Emergency Services Unit tactical team saw Crooks on a roof, notified other security services and photographed him.
Well, I done told it into my radio, but nobody said nothing.
Police officers saw him scoping out the rooftop of a building and carrying a laser rangefinder. I mean, what the fuck?
Should have been shot
Again,
instantly.
spotted roughly 20 minutes before the shooting by Secret Service officers.
Remember, that laser rangefinder is more likely either a single scope or a pair of binoculars. It's not inconspicuous. It's not more conspicuous than looking down the scope of your rifle.
It's a fucking...
But he's certainly sitting there with a single scope or a pair of binoculars, laser rangefinding the range of the podium. If he'd have gone for the centre mast, you'd be having a very different conversation today.
Somebody put together a video that I saw online of, like, they matched everything up in real time of Trump entering the stage and starting his speech, and, like, the people on the ground pointing at the shooter and noticing the shooter. It's minutes and minutes. It's like, it goes on, it's like a good couple of minutes of people just, like, literally filming him with their cell phones.
I've seen it. It's
like,
insane.
It's mental.
A police officer attempted to climb to the roof of the building in search of Crooks.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't. This is all need to be hoisted by another officer. Crooks spotted the officer while the officer's hands were clinging to the edge of the roof and aimed his rifle at him, at which point the officer let go, falling 8 feet, 2.4 metres to the ground and severely injuring his ankle.
Crooks undertook the assassination attempt immediately following the confrontation with the officer.
So that spooked him, and
that's why he missed.
Yeah, because he's under pressure.
It's insane.
But he didn't miss. That's the thing, did he? I know you're saying he should have got, like, maybe centre of his head, but
that's a perfect shot. Yeah. That's a marksman shot.
But if he hadn't turned his head, it's gone. He didn't miss, did he?
I've seen the diagram. It's taking out the back portion of his brain and the spinal column. If he hits him, he's dead. If he survives, he's not going to be the man he was. Let's say that. The fact that Trump turned his head, and probably that he's shot in a hurry now.
That does add to it.
But you know, he's shot in a hurry and he still fucking winged his target.
Yeah. It's fucking hell, man. It's so close to just the world going insane. Because if America goes insane and falls, it affects the rest of the world. Like, the army'd have to come in and take over, wouldn't they?
Potentially, if Biden couldn't restore order. Well, that leads to a military coup, doesn't it? 2 other people were killed in this, of course. Let's not forget them. David Dutch, aged 57, and James Copenhaver, aged 74, from Moon Township, Pennsylvania, was shot and critically injured. Although, to be fair, they survived, but 2 other people did die, one a retired firefighter, as we said.
He shielded his family.
Yeah. 4 police officers who were just feet away from Trump suffered minor injuries from flying debris when the bullet struck objects nearby. So, stage, anything metal. They're 5.56 rounds. They're quite soft. They will splinter if they hit something solid. Never mind who the shooter was. It was terrible protection from the Secret Service who did everything wrong. It was reactive bodyguarding. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole on this. Reactive bodyguarding is what the Secret Service does, and the British SAS who came up with a whole concept of bodyguarding in the 60s do proactive, where they have guys in the crowd. They look for body language signals, look for anxiety, things like that. They're trained to look for it. This is just waiting for something to happen. You can't do that. Why wasn't there just one bloke sat on that roof? Just one agent or one police officer just sat on that roof. Would have stopped the entire thing. The guy would have looked at it and gone, nah.
Because did somebody want him shot?
That's the other thing. Did they want him shot? Is this an MK Ultra scenario? Is this an agent they've switched on? So MK Ultra's not even a conspiracy theory, it's a thing.
Know it's not. Yeah, we know.
It's a genuine thing.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that by now they haven't perfected it.
Yeah, took it even further.
You're absolutely right.
I think probably use your phone to give off some mad frequency combined with whatever drugs have got you on.
Like the movie Kingsman.
Alex believes they've got them all over the shop and they just...
It wouldn't surprise me.
Switch you on.
Because you see what the CIA have done in the last fucking 70, 80 years.
We know how filthy they are.
They are incredibly
Maybe they
filthy.
were even fucking with the comms. Maybe there was something fucking up.
Well, that's the other thing. Did they jam the comms that day? Because 8 shots seems a fucking...
I was thinking about that when you said 8. I was thinking about them all rain 8 shots. Like, I don't know, is it the first shot that hits Trump?
I'm guessing it's got to be the first.
Because then
he sees him get at the floor, and then he must keep firing because he doesn't know.
Yeah. And
he fires another 7 shots.
I mean,
and then
how quick can you do that? Trigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, presumably he's been practicing. But then the sniper that took him out must have been 1 shot. And I'd expect that from that guy who's been qualified, who's that qualified. And he's got a nice... You see the photos of the snipers there? They've got nice little fucking tripod mounts. Yeah. They ain't even got to hold the rifle, they've just got it in their shoulder. That's it.
I also thought what was crazy about like the modern world and how like the chaos of that day is that people were able to get on the roof and take a nice picture of the bloke with his head fucking...
Yeah,
it's all over Twitter, I've seen it, it's like, and that's not an official release. Well, it can't be, can it?
They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't, would they? No. We've seen it then, the one I'm on about. Yeah. It's just, it's not as graphic as you might think, to be fair. It's from the front and he's just a dead person with blood pouring down. But
the exit wounds covered.
Yeah.
The exit wounds at the other side.
Yeah, I bet if it was from the other side, it'd be a much more good
you'd have a lot of brains in that picture.
Well, that's mad, isn't it? Somebody jumped up there and took a picture. That was funny as well, you know, on the clip when the ginger guy was describing it to the British guy.
Oh, he blew his head off, man.
He's like, yeah, they shot his head off, man. Shot his head off. He's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't say that. We don't know who's...
he was incredibly British at that moment, wasn't he?
Apparently he's blind, that guy.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he's quite a popular... I've never seen him or heard him before.
No, neither
apparently he's like a blind guy. Yeah, he did a good job. He was the first person I saw when I was watching it happen, and I'll tell you another interesting aspect, actually, that I saw happening. I only saw it happen in real time because I followed the whole thing on X, Twitter. Is it because we both know, like, the right's got their Fox and another one I can't think, and the left's got MSNBC and CNN. And it's really mad how they're both so blatantly left or right, aren't they? The left were reporting it in the morning as he fell over because of a loud noise.
Wow.
I've seen that, yeah. Ridiculous.
Weird, isn't it? Like the levels they're going to play the game. It's like weird because you're being caught out.
Why can't you just
say?
lying.
Just say.
Yeah.
So strange, man.
Yeah, proper weird, isn't it?
And of course, Tenacious D.
Propaganda war.
As we said earlier.
Oh yeah, Mike. So Tenacious D were on tour in Australia, live on stage, and there's some bit they do with
Kyle's birthday, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was his birthday, and he burnt the candles. What's your wish? And Kyle said, "Don't miss Trump next time." A few people laughed or whatever, but
that's callous.
Then it turned bad.
They were in Australia straight after the gig.
Kicked out of Australia, cancelled the tour. Jack said all future creative plans are on hold.
Fucking hell, come on, it's not that bad.
Yeah, he's got to protect. He's got several films. I've been reading about. He's got several films in post production. He's got to protect that Hollywood. He's thrown his bandmate under the. Shit, he's had no choice but to go. Fuck you, Kyle. It's over.
Yeah.
For now, anyway. It'll all blow over in a few years, but.
Oh, the Union tour going on. That'll make even more.
It's probably a silly thing.
It's not a wise thing to say, is it?
No,
really. No. Should we go through some of the conspiracy theories?
Yep. So conspiracy theories gained popularity within minutes. The word staged became the highest trending topic on Twitter, X.
Ridiculous.
600 million views of the Howard bot accounts. Left-wing users posted conspiracy theories of false flag operations dubbed Blue Anon in reference to QAnon. Unsubstantiated theories included claims the shooting and blood on Trump were faked and that crisis actors were used, and the victim who died was a sacrifice to make the attempt to look more realistic.
That's insane.
And that the shooting was intended to improve Trump's likelihood of winning the election.
It's certainly done that.
But you can't. I don't care how good a marksman you are. You cannot wing somebody. You cannot do it.
No.
Like, you know what in the films
flying by.
You know in the films that the cowboys shoot some dude in the thigh. Right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's dead.
Right? You've got the femoral artery in the thigh. You've got thigh bone. You've got blood vessels.
No
you
such
can't,
thing as a flesh wound.
There's no such thing as a flesh wound, and you cannot deliberately shoot to wound. You only shoot for one reason. Right? People who think you can shoot to wound are just idiots. At the end of the day.
Well, I did see the Terminator shoot people in the knees.
I mean, he had biological knowledge and targeted aim.
Yeah.
Precision aiming, just for the bone.
Not when he was aiming for Sarah Connor. He didn't have precision aiming then. But he did have in that scenario. Right-wing conspiracy theories also circulated on social media.
What are they?
Antifa became a trending topic after posts on Twitter blamed the shooting on a prominent Antifa activist. Or other posts claimed the perpetrator was Jewish or transgender. I've seen those posts, the transgender posts.
No, he wasn't.
CBS News wrote that users on Twitter alleged that the Secret Service resources were diverted from Trump's rally, an unsubstantiated claim denied by a spokesperson and echoed by Elon Musk as a baseless theory that the agency is part of a conspiracy to get rid of the former president. I've read in a couple of more reputable news sources that he doesn't have the budget that other former presidents have.
They were literally trying to pass a bill to take his fucking security detail away, Ben.
Yeah, they were actually. You're right. I've seen that.
I mean, that's never been done to anyone. The vitriol against this man is insane.
All living former presidents have a Secret Service detail around them at all times, and weirdly, they're all still entitled to daily CIA briefings if they wanted. Although apparently only Bush Senior took that.
Another thing Trump's done that made me like him, Mike, is RFK Jr. They refused him a CIA detail.
Oh, did they?
They refused him one, which you'd think maybe once he got into politics he probably should have one. Yeah. Apparently Trump rang Biden after this and just give him one now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because he's trying to run as an independent. Yeah. It's just a problem, and he's going to have to join one of the teams to get anywhere, isn't it? Yeah. Because I like his part. I bet you like him, didn't you? Have you heard his policies?
I don't mind.
I haven't heard many of his policies.
He talks a lot of sense, man. He's done loads of research on Fauci. He's written books about him. He knows how corrupt the pharmaceutical industry is, and not afraid to call him out and all that. People would love him, but he's not treated. He wasn't allowed to do a triple debate, was he?
No.
You know. But yeah, anyway. But apparently Trump rang up and said, "Look, Joe, they're fucking shooting people. Give him some."
Well, it's worth pointing out that Biden. I have a Biden quote. I'm going to quote him now. I'm going to say this more clearly than Joe Biden does. I have one job, and that's to beat Donald Trump. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye.
That's a silly choice of words.
Yeah, totally.
That's come back to bite him in the arse. Even if he didn't know even if this is all pure coincidence, it just doesn't. It's a stick for them to beat him with now.
Of course.
He's doomed. He's doomed now anyway. Yeah. Forget it. It wasn't over before, it is now. I
read a good tweet, Ben, earlier that Hulk Hogan spoke for 9 minutes more clearly and eloquently than Joe Biden has for about 2 years.
A man who's probably taken steel chairs to the head.
And fuckloads of drugs.
Lots of steroids.
So many drugs.
Cocaine. Not just steroids. Cocaine. Not just steroids, cocaine,
all the drugs. Oh, Hulk.
You know what? That speech was fucking epic.
It was fire.
Oh man! So that was an elongated weird news.
Yeah.
Apologies to Mike who's going to edit it.
But look, it was a pretty large world event.
Yeah, we need to do
I've been
something
obsessed with it all week. We've been texting about it back and forth.
We have.
It's like we had to address it. And there's no weirder news than Donald Trump getting shot in the head, is there really?
Oh man, them fucking bandages though. Tell me you're in a cult without telling me you're in a cult.
I like that, you see.
Me and Mike are going to put one in tomorrow.
I don't know if that's...
Fight!
But the picture, man, it's framed perfectly. It's almost like it was planned.
It wasn't.
2 days before the Republican convention.
Hey. All I can
But
say
as I said, you can't shoot to wound.
Unless he was meant to miss and it was a blood pack. He had a razor blade and slit his own head. Hell of a conspiracy, though.
I'm proud to be an American.
Well, you're not an American. You're Welsh and English.
Bombing Arabs from the sky.
That's the American way.
Fuck yeah, America.
Fuck yeah. Well,
give me a Bud Light and a Marlboro Red. I'm gonna go and sit in my truck.
Yeah.
like
Watch the NASCAR.
with my gun rack.
Yeah.
Oh man, thank you, America.
Oh, God bless America.
I've been Ben. Thanks for listening. America, fuck yeah.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Gaz. I am a real American. I fight for the rights of every man.
I am a real American.
That's what real Americans
really
should do.
should,
Fight for the rights of every man.
Yeah.
You know, not just the Republican man. Every man.
Every man.